All right, so let's just settle into our meditation posture. Okay, I think I've shrunk again. Oh, it's all right. Ugh. And let's just try and bring our body to the same place our mind is. Well, bring our mind, sorry, to the same place our body is. And just relax. And let's just check our posture. If your feet are down on the ground, you can have them on top of a little cushion. Just have them slightly raised, parallel, knees parallel. Other than that, if you're in the regular cross-legged meditation posture, the one we always know, I put this, make sure you're sitting on something quite firm. And if you're in the cross-legged position, have your sits bones raised. This really just helps with the alignment of the spine. It helps to, if your hips and knees are tight. Hands are in the meditation mudra, which is the right hand nestled in the left with the thumbs touching. But, for our purposes, if it's more comfortable for you to have your hands resting on your knees, or if you've been taught meditation in another way, you just do what works for you for our purposes this evening. What I'm talking about here is how they teach us in this particular Mahayana tradition. So the shoulders are aligned with the hips, and we'll just imagine our spine is a string of pearls of light. And welcome Shankar and Michael. Stretching from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. And beyond, you imagine the crown of your head is heading towards the sky. And perhaps somebody is above you or behind you, just very gently lengthening your spine. Your head is slightly tipped forward and the eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose. And tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. And relax the jaw. And let's just bring our mind or our awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead, the back of the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the area around the mouth. Relax the back of the head, the scalp there. Particularly at the occipital bone. We hold a lot of tension there. Relax the ears, the temples, the jaw, again the back of the tongue. And then bring your awareness to the back of your neck. Just release any tension there. Relax your shoulders and allow your shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the upper thoracic, the throat, the chest, the belly, limbs, hands, fingers, and feet and toes. And bring the mind to the breath and notice the sensation of the air as you're breathing in. It's a little bit cooler than the air you're exhaling. If there are any sounds in your external environment, maybe there's someone else in your home with you who's moving about. Perhaps you can hear sounds from outside, emergency vehicles or pets. Just notice what is attracting your mind to that sound, or what sounds are creating aversion in your mind, or what you're trying to push away. And just allow those sounds to be there as you defocus your mind from the sound. Bring it back to the breath. And then notice your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, as they are passing by. They arise, abide, and if you don't engage with them, they will just continue on. So allow the thoughts to flow like a river of mental moments. Remembering that if you are sitting on the bank watching the river, you're free from the river. It's the same with your thoughts. If you are watching your thoughts and you're not engaged with your thoughts, you're free from your thoughts. So let's just bring to mind all the people of our life, our friends, our loved ones, our spouses, our children, our besties, work colleagues, the ones we're fond of. And then there's those people who we aren't so fond of, who we push away, who we reject. And then there's those people who are passing briefly through our lives, the strangers who we are fairly indifferent to. We maybe notice them for a second, a person in the car next to us at the traffic lights, the person in the line in front of us, the grocery store, the pharmacy, and think that all these people do deserve our equal concern, because they all wish to be happy and are constantly not ever getting there, like not quite satisfied. And they all wish to be free from suffering, just like we do. And they're constantly encountering some kind of problem. And they all have this unbelievable capacity for this enlightened mind. So just think tonight we'll do this practice of purification, Vajrasattva, in the context of the four opponent powers for the benefit of all the people of our life. And then by extension all sentient beings. And for those people down there in Santa Fe, for all the people involved in the fires, all the animals, insects, birds. And then I always keep in mind right now the people in Ukraine, anybody really in that area who's somehow affected by the war. I think we'll do this practice also for ourselves as we're moving along our path to enlightenment. So remembering, again, there is no negativity that cannot be purified. This purification process is basically a psychological one. We create negativity with our mind, so we can equally create positivity with our mind, counteract it. So first of all, the first opponent power is the power of regret. So just bring to mind and sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you've done to harm a sentient being with actions of your body and your speech. In this life, today, last week, past lives. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. Everything we experience is based on our past actions, our karma. So having harmed others, we ourselves will suffer. So it makes logical sense to pull out those karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want this future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. So we also regret our delusions. Anger, attachment, jealousy, bitterness, grudges, all the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And again think, I'm sick of this suffering. Then think, okay, so what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we turn to the Buddha. We see him as a doctor who has the methods that we can use to purify. Well, it's medicine really, for us to heal ourselves. So we're not asking Buddha to forgive us, we're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. And you can also imagine that this is, if you wish, this is the mind of your teacher, your Lama, your trusted mentor, however you see that person in your mind. This is the person who's leading you on along the spiritual path. You may have received teachings from them. So it doesn't matter if it's a man or male or female or anything in between. I know we have to think like this now. Anyone. So just imagine that this is the mind of that person manifesting in this form for your benefit. It just makes it much, much more personal than this image of a drawing on a tanka. So try and see it as a 3D light, like almost like a hologram. So it has this a radiant, beautiful face. His eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all the people of your life. Whatever it is you're showing up with tonight, that's perfectly okay. Perfectly okay. He has no judgmental thoughts towards you, accepts you exactly as you are. His mouth is sweet and red, his hair is black and held up in a top knot, his arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra which represents the indestructibility of compassion, and there being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. And also remember, he's wearing jewelry, crown, earrings, bracelets, necklaces, jewelry around his waist and ankles and feet, and celestial robes, silk and celestial robes, just kind of floating there, beautiful, and an aura of light around his head and around his body. To the Buddha, the Dharma and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. Excuse me. So there's just this little meditation here on compassion. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, so the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed. And then think of the people who've harmed you. Because of the suffering that they've caused you, they're going to experience suffering in the future. So feel compassion towards them because of that. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings. Excuse me, I have something caught in my throat. I must purify for their sake. So here we come to that power of a remedy. This is the actual medicine, the doing of the practice of purification. And this involves purification of the body, where we we do visualization, and we also do recitation of the mantra. So I'm going to have to take a little sip of water here, just 1 minute. Okay, thank you. So imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sending powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, or you can even imagine falling from Niagara Falls onto your head. Very forcefully from his heart, it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you and forces out of your lower orifices all the negativities of harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky, liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpayata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpayata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpayata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpayata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpayata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpayata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpayata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So the next is the purification of speech. And imagine Vajrasattva this time very happily, again, sending powerful nectar from his heart chakra. And this arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And it quite forcefully overflows and disappears into space. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and the lying and talking badly about others behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you, all of this completely eradicated by this nectar filling you, pouring out as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpayata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpayata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpayata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yata sawa kama sitame sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawakama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Duda Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Siddham Shriyam Guruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine that it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. So the next is a purification of the mind, and Guru Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends light this time from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a dark room and you switch on the light. That light instantly dispels the darkness in the room, doesn't it? It's the same here. You just imagine the same. When the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind instantly dispelled. So all the anger and the depression and anxiety and grudges and jealousy and bitterness and sort of insecurities and not feeling like you're worthy enough, all of this completely disappears as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sitame Siddham shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Dida meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sitame Siddham shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sitame Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sitame Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sitame Siddham shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sitame Siddham shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Duda meboa sutokaya meboa supokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sitame Siddham shriyam kuruhum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. So again, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of your suffering, all of our suffering, our delusions, and the cause for why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified, gone. finished. And think now there is no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So the next is a purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. So if you wish, you could do a couple of mantras for each, for the visualization of the body and of the speech and of the mind that we've just done. Or you can just imagine light and nectar pouring into you and eradicating completely even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa anarakta mebawa sawasiti mempiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya Vajrasattva dinapatita dida mebawa sutokaya mebawa supokaya mebawa Anarakta mebawa sawasiti mimpiyata sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hom pe. Now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So next we come to the power of resolve, and this is the fourth step in the purification process. This is a really crucial step for us to be doing. So this is just trying to make a decision, or we make a decision, just decide, I'm going to refrain from harming. And we can choose something, just some habit, just one thing, some habit that we have, that we know we have, and then just say to ourselves, I'm going to refrain from this, whether it's biting my fingernails or talking about the neighbour behind their back to somebody else, or boring people to death with your speech. Just say I'm going to refrain from that for 5 seconds or 30 seconds or overnight while I'm sleeping. So I won't be talking to anyone. And then rejoice, and rejoice in the efforts that you've been making for the amount of time that you've been coming regularly. It's kind of amazing. So really pat yourself on the back. Fantastic. So Vajrasattva is very delighted with us, very pleased, and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And LAMA YESHE used to call this union oneness. So next Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for just a moment. You can also think all phenomena are empty, that do not exist from their own side. And you can also think that perhaps the way I see things, the way I hear things, this may not be the way they actually exist. The way they appear to me may not be the way they exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy we have created this evening doing this purification to all living beings, all the people of our life, to ourselves. Think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. For His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. For Lama Rinpoche, you uphold the subduer's moral way, who serves as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honouring the three jewels, savour of myself and others, your disciples. Please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us in intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for La Geshe Shera, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path, you are the unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. Gone like a dream, yet again. Going to be dead in a minute. Okay, everyone. Lots of love, and please sleep well, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you very much for hosting. Okay, thanks everybody. Nice to see you, Shankar. Okay,
Bye.
lots of love, everybody.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye,
Take care,
everyone.
everybody.